After Chris Paul left the Clippers in June, they signed Griffin to a huge 5-year, $171 million contract that they proclaimed would make Griffin a Clipper for life. They even held a mock retirement of his Clippers jersey.
Short life.
Well, life lasted 33 games. Wilbon, how should Griffin feel about this?
Blake Griffin knows this is a business. Blake, more than most people in the league, because of his commercial ties, understands business. And he knows this is an entertainment business.
Really, because I think he should feel betrayed.
But he didn't say
really
that. What I really liked was Blake's own statement, whether it was on Instagram or tweeted or whatever the hell it was, where he just said, okay, I had a great time here. Thank you, people, for the time I had here.
Oh, no,
and now I'm ready to go.
He's been very gracious.
How gracious
but
is
I
that?
think he should feel betrayed. If you sign a deal, look, he had the ability to negotiate for a no-trade clause.
But he didn't do it.
He had the longevity.
But he didn't do it.
And I understand he didn't do it.
Okay.
And he probably didn't do it because he signed this thing, I don't know, 7 months ago.
Because when they had the mock jersey retirement, he believed
thinking
him?
that he would be, that he had outlasted Chris Paul, that maybe DeAndre Jordan would stay or he would go, but he was going to be the guy. And in this particular case, you have to concede that he never would have signed this deal with Detroit. He wouldn't have done it.
No.
That's where he wanted to be.
He even canceled his visits to Denver, and there was another visit somewhere, and he canceled the visit.
I'm not saying it's not a business.
Right.
I'm saying that if I were him, I would feel betrayed because he then had the lifespan of a monarch butterfly with the Clippers.
Well, but my point is, Tony, this is a guy who announced himself coming into the league by jumping over a car at the dunk contest.
Exciting.
Blake Griffin does great commercials.
Yes, he does.
He's funny and charming in them. And I think in that time, he understood commerce. He understands what the league is about, and he knows he may be traded.
What's interesting to me is you always tell me that players and coaches don't like him.
Often. They express this.
And they tell you
used to get these dust-ups.
I like him. Now, he has a couple of problems. He gets hurt often, or if he's not hurt by something bad on the court, he punched a guy out.
That was bad.
Right, he punched a guy out.
Bad.
But I am, maybe you don't find this stunning.
What?
I think he's a real star, and they just said, get out.
But star doesn't mean you have it's equal in impact. The Clippers are okay right now. They're okay. And he's been out there 33 games, so, what are they losing?
They're better than they should be without Chris Paul. And Blake Griffin's a part of that.
They've been pretty good this year. They've been pretty good. They got a G League lineup most of the night, most of the season. For most of us, our first reaction after the wow of Griffin being dealt was why? Why are the Clippers doing this? The most common answer is to clear salary cap space to chase LeBron James. If the Clippers executives accept the notion, as many people already do, that Los Angeles is LeBron's next destination, then why should the Clippers just concede him to the Lakers? Tony, could you see him going to the B side of this record?
I really love that analogy because it brings back, 45s that nobody watching us has any idea what we're talking about. This depends on the premise that you have to accept. And that premise is that LeBron James wants to go to Los Angeles, not for any particular team, but for a life change.
Right.
That's his life destination for what comes after basketball. Right. In that case, you then have to compare the Lakers, not a very good team, with the Clippers, no team at all at the moment, because they're going to get rid of DeAndre Jordan. They don't have anything at the moment. And so what are the advantages? Well, Steve Ballmer, who I think is wacky as an owner,
he's got money.
Sure got a
Deep
lot of
pockets.
money. Sure got a lot of money. I would never rule out any team that Jerry West was a part of, and now he's a part of the Clippers. Right. And one of the advantages might be for LeBron, assuming he brings Paul George with him, as everybody thinks he's going to do, he gets rid of LeVar Ball. He has nothing to do with LeVar Ball.
That's an interesting one. First of all, you could construct whatever. There's a race now to see who can get deeper under the salary cap. Because if LeBron can bring Paul George and somebody else, and you already have Avery Bradley, if they decided to keep him, you got a functioning defensive big-time guard on that team now.
Yeah.
And by the way, the guy they traded for primarily, who they got from Detroit, is an 18.5 point per game scorer. You don't have to let him go.
That's Tobias Harris.
You can keep Tobias Harris. So LeBron could do worse than go to the Clippers if it is a destination. So the Clippers
what if he were able to bring Chris Paul and Carmelo Anthony, who will be free agents? What if he did that banana boat deal?
He said that once.
And by the way, I think more likely, Steve Ballmer is more likely to put that together than I think the Lakers would be.
Would that outdraw the Lakers for the only time in the history of those two teams in Los Angeles? if you had Chris Paul and Carmelo and whoever you wanted to keep among those people we said.
It would be a very interesting 1 year or 2 years.
Yeah.
So I think it's in play.
Okay.
Let's